Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 23 updates and spoilers. Hope you're all having a great day so far. It is Wednesday. That means it's campaign day. We'll get there. But anyway, our house guests of the day are Megan Lynn and Manish Murley. Thank you both so much for the support. Could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. How fun is that? I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that is a fantastic way to support this channel and keep us doing our live streams and our episode recaps and all that. So, Sheena123, Jefferson Tucker, Don MH302, and AR Chan 1785. Thank you all so much for the super chats yesterday. And I see we have some super chats today. Jefferson, thank you so much as always. Yeah, that secret Illuminati alliance taking over the house. Thank you again for the super chats. You're awesome. And Jody Cortez, thank you so much, right? I wish Kylan was going to, but pretty much no chance of that right now. So what are you going to do? But anyway, before we get going here, I also want to give a shout out to Team Jerseys Pro. Check out this custom vegan as fork jersey. So much fun, so comfortable, and so cute. If you guys are interested in getting your own custom jersey, check out Team Jerseys Pro. We've got the link below, and we also have a 10% off coupon code. You just got to put Madrosed, and you get 10% off your own jersey. Love it. All right, so when we left off yesterday, Sarah Beth and Kylan are up on the block. Sarah Beth is the target. Sarah Beth is going. The cookout has already moved on to planning for next week. They're trying to decide who should win HOH. Tiffany and Xavier do not want to win next week because their plus ones will be the only plus ones left. So those are their two options for targets, and they don't want to be the ones to potentially take out their own plus one, depending on who wins power veto. So Hannah, for the same reason, really doesn't want to win an HOH because she might potentially have to put up Claire. She doesn't want to do that. Big D and Azah would both like a win to put on their resumes, which are kind of empty so far. And they're going to be pissed if Kylan wins HOH for a third time. And Kylan wants this next HOH. He wants to win. He wants all of the information he can get. He wants to be able to put another win on his resume. But he's also telling them, oh, yeah, if you guys really want it, and I can, I'll throw it to you. Will he, though? Because, that's what he said last time, too. So, anyway, there's also debate about who should be the target next week, Claire or Alyssa. Also, should they be nominated together, or should it be, one with a pawn? So these are discussions that are getting very repetitive. We're hearing them over and over again, and you can expect to hear them over and over again for the next few days. But anyway, yesterday, Claire was talking to the cameras in the gym, and Claire says, if I get a chance to make a flashy move, I have to take it, whether it's with my vote or getting other people to do things. Claire, you were the anonymous HOH this week. You had the chance to make a huge flashy move, and you blew it. You could have done something big here, but no, you didn't. You played it safe. But anyway, she says she would like Xavier to leave next week, potentially. But she also says if Alyssa leaves, that's okay too. She just wants to split up that duo of Xavier and Alyssa. So she says if Kylan has to leave, I don't want to be the one to take that shot because she feels like a lot of people are going to be wanting Kylan out, but she's still in the dark about the cookout. So Claire is also wondering, is Hannah playing me? She doesn't think so, but she feels like it could be possible. Oh, Claire. So many people are playing you. Claire is also saying she would like Big D to go sooner rather than later. She's concerned that Azah and Big D are feeding each other info. They spend a lot of time together. Oh, Claire. Oh, Claire. Anyway, later, Hannah and Tiffany have a game chat in the sea glass bedroom. And they're talking about the possibility of a battle back happening, which I don't think so, right? Because like I feel like we would have heard something by now. It just doesn't seem likely with COVID anyway. And they feel like it's probably not gonna happen, but they've been talking about it a lot. Hannah says if there isn't a battle back, then they should just send Alyssa out next week because she feels they would have a better chance of beating Claire in future HOH competitions. And Hannah says even if Claire does win the final 7 HOH, because remember, she can't win HOH this coming week because she was already the anonymous HOH this week. She's got to throw it. But if she wins the following week, Hannah says Claire's not coming after me, you, or Azah. So, like, we would be safe with her. Okay. So, Tiffany says, I agree. We can't tell the guys that because the guys know that their odds are better if they keep Alyssa because Alyssa is working more with the guys than she's working with the girls. So, Tiffany says our odds are better if we keep Claire. So, Hannah says, my only fear, though, is if there is a battle back. She says Derek X could come back and work with Claire and take out, 1 or 2 of the cookout members before we can get them out. Tiffany says, well, we don't even know that it would be Derek X coming back anyway. It could be anybody. But also it's not happening. But Hannah thinks that Alyssa could also be a shield for them if someone does come back. She feels like whoever would be coming back would target Alyssa before they target, anybody from the cookout. So Tiffany says, well, maybe then we should just keep Alyssa next week just to be safe. So Hannah agrees. And she says, if the 6 of us can't beat Alyssa for HOH, then she deserves to stay. So then they go through some more scenarios and some more scenarios and blah, blah, blah. Every possible scenario, yada, yada, yada. Eventually, they start discussing what they want to happen once the cookout gets to the final 6, when things actually start getting interesting again. So Tiffany says if Kyland is the first to go, she's worried that she's going to be the next target. So she definitely seems to want to keep Kyland around as a shield for now. So Hannah says, yeah, we should get rid of Big D first. And Tiffany agrees. She says Big D got his money already anyway. Remember, he got $7,500 in last week's Power Veto competition. So Hannah says, ideally, one of them, I think she means her, Tiffany, or Azah, wins HOH at Final 6, take out Big D, and then she's like, after that, Xavier can win the HOH. Maybe he'll take out Kai because he doesn't want to go to the end with him. Would he do that? I'm not 100% sure that he would do that because we know that Big D, Kyland, and Xavier have a Final 3 deal. But I'm pretty sure Xavier would much rather want to go to the Final 2 with Big D than he would with Kyland. And I'm sure Kyland feels the same way. He'd want to go to the end with Big D and not Xavier. So maybe Xavier would take that shot. I don't know, though. I'm not so confident that he would do that. But anyway, this is Hannah's ideal situation. She says then Xavier would not be able to play HOH the following week. So we win, take him out, and then it's me, you, and Azah in the Final 3. That's great and all, but like there are still vetoes up for grabs. So, you still got to take that into account. Again, a lot could go wrong here, but this is Hannah's ideal scenario. And then Hannah takes it even further. She says, all right, if it's me, you, and Azah in the Final 3, I will throw part 1 of the final HOH to you, Tiffany. It's usually an endurance competition. She says, Tiffany can take that one. I feel like Azah would be pretty good in endurance, but, but then Hannah says she will win part 2, and then Tiffany and Hannah can just, be guaranteed that they're going to take each other to the Final 2. So that's Hannah's ideal scenario. Who knows if that would actually play out or not, but whatever. So then Claire comes in and she busts up that conversation. Okay. So then a little later, Alyssa has a game chat with Hannah on the Sky Bridge. Hannah was having a lot of game chats last night. I gotta say, though, sometimes I forget Alyssa's still there. She hasn't been doing much lately. I know she was saying the other day that she's, bored of the game. So anyway, Alyssa says she wants Kai out next week. She says if we take out Kai, that would leave 2 duos, Big D and Azza, and Tiffany and Claire, and then me and you can solidify a 3 with Xavier. So Hannah says if the 3 of us make it to the end, Xavier would probably pick you over me, and like I'm cool with that. Right. Hannah knows that this scenario is pretty much never, ever going to play out. I mean, it's not really a possibility that Alyssa's going to be in the final 3 with Xavier and Hannah. I mean, you never know. Alyssa could win out. Who knows? But there's really not a great chance for it. But Alyssa says, no, I think it would be 50-50. Like, if you would choose me or you. Alyssa. You know she's just saying that. But anyway, Alyssa says, if it makes you feel more comfortable, like you can pick who goes to the final 4 with us, and then it'll be a fair game. So Hannah's like, well, what about Tiffany? And Alyssa says, yes, that's what I was thinking too. Sounds great. Okay. So for next week, Alyssa's saying if she wins HOH, she wants to put up Claire and Kyland to get rid of Kyland. Alyssa still does not get it. She's pointed out so many times how like all of the white people are being evicted, but she's just not putting the pieces together, I guess. If Claire is up on the block, Claire will go. So if you want Kyland to go, do not put Claire next to him. But anyway, another thing I just wanted to point out, it seems like Hannah using the power of veto on Xavier this week really went a long way with Alyssa. It did what Hannah wanted it to do, right? Because now Alyssa's like, yeah, we can work together as a trio. Sounds great. She's not looking at Hannah as a target at this point. So anyway, Big Brother gave them some alcohol last night. Even that couldn't get the party started. Anyway, Hannah and Kyland were chatting in the bathroom at one point, and they were discussing how and when they should let Sarah Beth know that she's going. They don't want it to be a blindside because that's just bad jury management at this point. That's unnecessary. So Kyland says he should probably tell Sarah Beth that Alyssa has convinced Claire that Sarah Beth should go this week. So he's really trying to throw Alyssa under the bus here. He's saying that will place blame on Alyssa and hopefully cause Alyssa and Claire to target each other next week if one of them were to win HOH. So Hannah's like, yeah, I mean, that could work. That sounds good. They don't want to tell SB too early, though, because if they do, she could pull Alyssa and Claire into a room together, and that could get really messy. So they want to wait a bit. They're probably not going to tell her for sure that she's going until, like, Thursday morning. So then they're talking about options for next week, and Hannah's saying it would be good for Kyland to win HOH because he's the only person in the cookout that doesn't really have ties, alliance-wise, to Claire or Alyssa. I feel like Hannah might be, like, setting Kyland up because she knows if Kyland wins this next HOH, she's still going to get what she wants, but also the cookout's going to be pissed at Kyland because Big D and Azza are really expecting him to throw this competition to one of them. They're not going to be happy if he wins his 3rd HOH. So I feel like Hannah is trying to, like, make that target on him bigger. But Hannah says she would be okay with winning this next HOH if Kyland doesn't want to go for that 3rd one. And Kyland's saying he's cool either way. You know, he would totally be comfortable putting up Claire and or Alyssa. But if somebody else wants to do it, he's fine letting them do it as well. Okay, so later, Tiffany and Kyland were talking Endgame in the sea glass bedroom. And I'm not talking Avengers. Okay, I'm going to go now. So Tiffany says that Big D and Xavier should be the first to go from the cookout. And Kyland says, yeah, I see that. Tiffany says, we can beat Azza and Hannah and get to the end together. And keep in mind, Tiffany has had a final 2 deal with Kyland since pretty early on in the game, the first few weeks. So Tiffany says, I don't want to go to the end with you and Xavier still here, because I know that you two would pick each other to go to the final two. And Kylan says, no, I would not take Xavier to the final two. Kylan is claiming that he would rather lose to Tiffany than lose to Xavier. Do we think that's true? I don't know. But Kylan wants confirmation from Tiffany that if it were Kylan, Tiffany, and Hannah in the final three, he says he's cool with that, but he wants to know, will you take me to the final two over Hannah? And Tiffany's saying, yes, I would take you to the end. Would you though? So then after, Tiffany's alone talking to the cameras, and Tiffany says, look, I'm going to ride to the end with the people who want to ride with me. And if Kylan wants to take me to the final two, that works in my favor. She says, I'm never going to have him doubt that I would take him, because she wants to be in the position where if it's up to Kylan to choose, he will choose her. You know, she doesn't need him thinking that she could possibly pick somebody else. She wants him to think that that she's been loyal to him this whole time. So Tiffany says, if it's up to me, though, she would for sure take Hannah to the end. She says, I love Hannah. I would rather lose to Hannah than to Kylan. And she says she and Hannah have been loyal to each other. She's always trusted her. She's never questioned Hannah's loyalty. Can't say the same thing about Kylan. So Tiffany even says if it is her, Hannah, and Kylan at the end, she would kind of want Hannah to be the one making that choice, picking who would go to the final two, because she believes that Hannah would pick her, and she also would not have to break her promise to Kylan if she was the one being taken to the final two instead of making the decision. And she did say again that if it were up to her, she would pick Hannah over Kylan. Interesting. Okay, so that was all last night. Give me one sec. Okay, so this morning, the house guests were speculating again more about Sarah Beth and her girlfriend Shelly. They're really weirded out by Kylan and Sarah Beth's relationship. They're not sure if Shelly is real. Maybe that's her roommate, blah, blah, blah. They're really weirded out by this Kylan and Sarah Beth relationship. And I gotta say, Shelly is real. But like, I can see why they are questioning this so much, because Sarah Beth and Kylan spend a lot of time alone together. They're very touchy-feely, really, really long hugs. So it's a lot, but I feel bad for Shelly that everybody is like, is she real? So yeah, they were talking about that a lot today. Also, today's Wednesday, which means it's time for some one-on-one campaigns. All right, so here we go. Sarah Beth hits the campaign trail, and she starts with Xavier on the Sky Bridge. And first of all, Xavier's asking her, like, are you okay? How are you doing? Because her hands are shaking. Sarah Beth says that happens when I'm nervous. She knew going into this that she was going to have issues with her anxiety. I really feel for her on that, because I have suffered from anxiety myself, and it is not fun. But anyway, Sarah Beth says she's going to do what she can to stay, as long as it doesn't involve throwing Kylan under the bus. So she asks Xavier, for you, what would be your main concern of keeping me over Kylan this week? And Xavier says his main concern would be the relationship between Sarah Beth and Alyssa. It's pretty shaky right now. You know, they've both been throwing each other under the bus hard. So he says, I don't want to be stuck between the two of you. So Sarah Beth says, oh, like, I've been trying to play it off like I'm not close to Alyssa because I don't want people to know that we're working together. Also, she says Derek X was telling me a lot of lies during my HOH week about Alyssa. Those were not lies. Those were truths. So Sarah Beth says, if I stay, I don't want to win the next HOH, because that would just put a bigger target on my back. You know, I want to lay low for a while. I'm not a threat to anyone. And she says, if I lose Kylan this week, I'm going to need to find people to work with. You know, I'm going to have to kind of regroup a little bit. So Sarah Beth brings up that Tiffany said that Kyland is her target this week, but she says, who knows if that's true or not. It doesn't seem like Sarah Beth feels one way or the other that like she's the target or Kyland's the target. It seems like she's not really sure. So Xavier says in the end, he wants Sarah Beth to talk to Alyssa and see where they're at, and then they can go from there. It's going to be a no from Xavier, dog. But anyway, Sarah Beth continues on the campaign trail, and a couple of things that she's saying to pretty much everyone. She's asking everyone, what would be your biggest concern about keeping me over Kyland? She's trying to address those concerns. And she's also telling everyone she doesn't want to win HOH. She wants to fly under the radar. I mean, if you're not really like offering someone something, what's the point? If you're just saying like, I'm going to float around, like, what's the point of that? How does that help somebody's game? I don't think that's a great campaign tactic, but that's just my opinion. But most people are telling her like, I need more time to think about it. I'll let you know, blah, blah, blah. I got to talk to more people. That's not a great sign. That usually means you're going. So anyway, we'll pick it up there tomorrow. Tomorrow is the eviction. And as of right now, Sarah Beth is still going. And I don't really see that changing. I mean, you never know what could happen in the next 24 hours. Kyland didn't start his one-on-ones yet. So maybe people are just going to be like, I can't take it. But hello. Chances are nothing will change and Sarah Beth will still be leaving.
Hello,
sir. You're so handsome. You're so handsome. All right. I want to thank all of our super chatters today because you guys are awesome and you keep this show going. So Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much. Jody Cortez, thank you so much. Susan Pendley, I never know if I'm saying your name right. Am I saying it wrong every single time?
I'm not sure whether it's Pengilly.
Pengillies. Susan Pengilly.
No, Pengilly.
That's what I said.
Oh, well, you said Pengillies.
No. Gilmore Girls.
Pengilly.
Yeah. Either way, thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate it. John S., thank you so much. Jefferson Tucker again. Thank you so much. Yeah, Egan as foe. That works too.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't sure how it was going to come out with like 3 words, but I feel like it still came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Thank you for loving the jurors.
Egan as foe is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm with it. Don MH302, thank you so much. And Jody Cortez, thank you again so much. You guys, you're lovely. You're wonderful. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you guys want to see win HOH? I want to see things get stirred up. Maybe I'm just worried even if Claire or Alyssa did win, they would still end up. Oh yeah, sorry, Claire can't win. I feel like even if Alyssa, I feel like Big D right now. Even if Alyssa did win, I feel like she would still
do whatever Xavier wants.
Yes, and Claire would end up leaving.
Yeah. Unless Claire won.
There is that chance though that Claire could win the veto and then things would really get mixed up. But I guess in that case, Kyland would probably be the target because Alyssa wants Kyland out. But
I don't even talk about HOH. I just want to see Kyland go. I'm just so.
How much are you gonna scream if Kyland wins HOH again?
Ty, I'm gonna go and
I don't know if I can handle it
in the oven. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just don't know.
I think maybe our internet would just not work for a week. No, I don't know. I honestly, it would be insane. But anyway, those are our thoughts. So let us know what yours are. And we'll see you guys next time. So thank you all so much again for watching. And we'll see you tonight as well for the episode recap.
Oh.
Yeah, good times. So until then, much love. And here is the awkward sign off. Yay!